Yo, yo, yo! What is good? We are live. This is the end of auction week 5 for the Cosmos Mint. And if you are joining us right now, Cosmos is a new collection, completely hand-drawn, illustrated by Dirty Robot himself. This is the same artist, the same visionary behind the OG RENGA collection. So right now, we're just kind of vibing out, watching the leaderboard and seeing how things adjust and shuffle at the last minute. Usually the last hour is pretty jam-packed. So yeah, thank you guys for joining us, and I'm really, really excited, I can't lie. All right, let's see where we're at. So, oh damn. All right, the lowest bid right now is 0.85 ETH. The highest bid is 1.09. And as you can see right over here on this little timer in the top corner, this is saying that we currently have 30 minutes and 40 seconds left. We will see that timer usually extends out. And so for those of you who are kind of new to this, we've had several weeks of auctions. As I said, this is week 5. And this is a public auction, by the way. So if you're interested in getting a character, and I'll show you what they look like in a minute, you place a bid here on renga.art/cosmos. And as the timer winds down, when we get into those last 3 minutes, like that 3-minute window at the very end, if someone places a new bid that knocks someone else off the leaderboard, it will add an additional 3 minutes to whatever the timer says. And so in previous weeks, we've been seeing a lot of shuffling, a lot of time extensions. We have run as long as about 1 hour over time in the past. So we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I think we're going to go into the end of this auction at a higher minimum bid than we ever have before. I mean, I think we're already just about there. So it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. I was laughing about it last week because I was saying, like, holy crap, if you just watch like all the excitement that the RENGA community has surrounding this Cosmos Mint and how active the leaderboard gets and how much it shuffles around at the end, you would never know that the market is in the current state that it's in. So it's just been a great time for us. For those of you who are wondering what Cosmos is, we can switch through and like kind of skim through the collection here. So what you'll see at the top is the Cosmos typography that has been used in the promotional materials. The very first time that we saw this typography, it came out at the very end of the teaser video. It had that like cool sort of red and cream color combination. It's pinned to the top of the official RENGA account. If you haven't seen it yet, watch the teaser video. And a lot of people speculated on, oh, what does this even say? I mean, it almost doesn't even look like a word, but you can kind of make out there's certain patterns in here. And some of our, very active community members really started to analyze what the patterns were. I remember Ilan saying he thought it said Cosmos. I remember a couple of people coming up with different things, but yeah, this says Cosmos, and it's the name of the current collection. And it's a really small collection because, as I said before, this is a completely hand-drawn collection. So as I'm going through these, and you can see, currently there are 271 pieces. So we're at a place where we only have 42 pieces left to mint. But these are all characters that span across 19 new archetypes. These are archetypes that were not yet seen in the original RENGA collection. And some of them are pretty obvious. Like this one right here, this is an alien archetype, currently held by Lefty. And so really Dirty Robot with this collection has put some thought into what other types of characters do we need to have for the most complete and comprehensive possible storytelling, because we all know that these characters are eventually going to be used in the context of stories. This one right here is a shapeshifter. It minted, oh, Alan. Alan is the current collector who's holding this. I love this one because you can kind of see it has like a little face sort of hidden inside of it. The shapeshifters are, I think I said it last week, shapeshifters are, I'm a little bit biased, but they're definitely one of my favorite archetypes. This was a really cool mint. Franzo.eth. Good Life. We've seen Good Life come up even in like the sort of OG Renga collection in the context of the motor core archetype. And this piece right here, this Cosmos, is part of the Crystal Children, as you can see right over here in the metadata. And Crystal Children has become kind of a popular archetype within the Renga community. In particular, one of our most, I want to say like vocal community members, vocal in the sense that like they're always sharing out their grails on the timeline, is Auntie Depa. And Auntie is, I think, like stacking Crystal Children at the moment, which is super cool. This is another one. This one I love very much. And Dirty Robot has told us that these orbs sort of hovering over their heads, they mean something. But yeah, as you can see, also Crystal Children archetype. And just look at the fashion. Like, even the thought that Dirty Robot puts into how, like, what these characters are going to be wearing, it's always kind of futuristic. Like, you can kind of see this little, what appears to be like sort of holographic image, or sort of like a light projection. I can't really speak. So always futuristic, always sort of stylish. And you know, there was this article put out at one point by Hypebeast, which I think I have here, and they were kind of highlighting just the sort of like the sense of fashion and futurism that Dirty Robot imbues into his pieces of artwork. And you can kind of see it here. These are pieces, these pieces are so sick. These are pieces, by the way, that predated, you know, Web3 and whatnot. And Dirty Robot, his portfolio goes way back, right? Like, this is stuff, this article was published. Let's take a look. And if you're like me and you're like a hype beast, then you just know Hypebeast was like the place to look if you wanted to know what were the up-and-coming sneakers. And so, sorry, it was interesting that they kind of, you know, sort of honed in on the fashion that Dirty Robot was incorporating into his pieces. A lot of it's also kind of deconstructed, like this. Oh, as you can see, sorry, I was trying to find the date. The date that this was published was back in 2017. We all were not even thinking about Web3. Well, I mean, many people might have been in on, you know, early crypto, like Bitcoin, like the earlier blockchain protocols, but 2017, most of us were not really thinking about Web3. It's just cool. Look at this, like, sort of deconstructed, again, futuristic looking shoe. But anyway, actually, there is, speaking of Crystal Children, here is a character that's kind of like a hype beast in the collection that is holding up a pair of sneakers. So actually, I want to switch back into this and see if we can find that character. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. All right, so let's look at our Crystal Children and let's find the one that's got, like, where is it? Here it is. This is exactly what I was thinking of. So it's kind of like, it's Crystal Children archetype, but it's kind of got this sort of hype beast vibe where it's holding up these futuristic sneakers that almost look very similar to the ones that we were just looking at featured in the hype beast article. This pair. So cool to see, you know, side by side. But let's get back to that leaderboard. Leaderboard is looking good. 22 minutes left. Those 0.85 ETH bids are still hanging on. Not sure that they're gonna sort of outlast, or I guess withstand the test of time, but we'll see. We are currently listening to some tracks by artists that Dirty Robot is a huge fan of. Two of which are Mike, who is a RENGA team member, and the other is Smith the Mister. So you're gonna hear like back and forth between tracks that each of them have produced. And just for the record, later on tonight, we're going to have a Twitter space, as is tradition, end of auction Twitter space. And one of the main purposes of holding these spaces after the auction is we really like to just tie up, all right, like here's how the end leaderboard shuffle played out. Here were some of the fun aspects of the bidding. Like last week was crazy because I think we got into like the last 10 seconds at one point, and then all of a sudden it was like we were already like a half hour overtime, and that was from, like I said before, new bids coming in within the last 3 minutes. That extends the timeout by an additional 3 minutes, and it kept happening and happening and happening. But finally, we seemed to have gotten down to the final 10 seconds, and then someone just threw another bid in. Like, people were really, I want to say they were kind of edging. It was a lot of fun though. So I expect the same this week. We kind of have the gist of what the dynamics of the bids look like. So basically the bidding opened on Sunday, and you didn't see much action on the leaderboard on Sunday. We did have a bid come in that was, above the minimum, which the minimum is 0.8 ETH. The first bid that rolled in, if I'm remembering correctly, was 0.88 ETH. And I think it was by Thor, who had mentioned that he was really, really hoping that maybe he gets a nice enchanter this week. And I don't know if that was inspired by, there was a really sick enchanter that was minted. I think it was minted by John HQ, but I could be mistaken. Let's go into the different archetypes and see if we can find the enchanter that I'm thinking about. So let's switch out of Crystal Children. And these are all the enchanters, these pieces that we're currently looking at. And you know what? I mean, was it John HQ? Because he also minted this one, which he was referring to, yep, John Hop. He was referring to as like an art teacher kind of vibe. But was he the one who also minted this guy last week? He was. Okay, so John HQ, I know you're out there somewhere. I think you might be listening. If you don't, I think you might listen back. You seem to attract enchanters, so I would just say to you guys, not alpha and not financial advice, if you want to mint an enchanter, I would just say let John HQ do it, because we already know Van Buren has crazy RNG, but John HQ seems to be just attracting these enchanters. These are some of the enchanters. This one was minted, I want to say this was one of the first mints by Showed during the first stage of the Cosmos mint. So for those of you who maybe weren't paying as close of attention back when Cosmos started minting out, and this was back in December, there was a gift stage. And so those people who had met a minimum threshold of unique collector capsules, they were able to mint Cosmos for free. So this was one of those mints. It was literally one of the first mints by Showed. And this is actually a piece that came up in the 365 collection, which I think is super sick. For those of you who don't know, as I was saying, like Dirty Robot's portfolio dates way back, pre-Web3 and whatnot. And some of these characters actually first came into existence in this 365 collection that Dirty Robot was creating, where he would go on Instagram and every single day he would hold himself accountable to creating and posting a new piece of artwork. And so that piece that we were just looking at, this enchanter that Showed has minted, this enchanter actually came up before. And if you ever wanted to see, sorry, I'm in the wrong place. If you ever wanted to see what that character looked like before Cosmos, here is day 188 from the 365 collection. So you can kind of see them side by side. which is super, super dope. And it's cool because it's like you can tell the way the style has kind of changed, but you could also get a glimpse into, all right, when these characters come to life in story, and they might need to have like full bodies, like it's not just a profile picture, these are going to be more than profile pictures, they're going to come to life in comics and so on. You kind of get a glimpse into what the full character might look like. So if you haven't looked yet, go and check out Dirty Robot's 365 collection. Morbeck is one of our moderators, and he's been awesome about sort of daily on the Twitter timeline posting these 365 pieces. So as I said, this was day 188, and if you look, Dirty Robot kind of labeled the pieces by the day number, so you could see this was kind of midway through that sort of that project. All right, let's check out the leaderboard. Let's see where we're at. Those 0.85s, I don't know, they're still hanging on. We got about 16 minutes left. Yeah. And by the way, like I said, this collection is very small. So Cosmos being an entire collection of one-of-ones, it's only going to have 313 pieces. And as we said before, there's only 271 that have currently minted out. But actually, even though it seems small and we're like, oh, we still got 2 weeks after this one, it's actually the majority of the collection is already here. And so if you're aiming to be able to mint a Cosmos, you really have this week, which obviously is coming near to a close. We're in the last 15 minutes, depending on how much the timer gets extended out. And you have next week and the following week, and that'll be it. This whole collection will be minted out at that point. Here's another alien. The aliens are pretty sick. This is a really cool one, actually. Yeah, so Cosmos are, they're all hand-drawn. There's 19 new archetypes. Some of the archetypes, by the way, there are fewer pieces, as you can see here, what the breakdown looks like. Let's see. Right, so currently, there are mostly enchanters, and obviously this could change, right? We have a couple more weeks of auction, of public auction. Then we have engineers, crystal children. On the lower end of it, we only have one angel. Let's take a look at that angel real quick. Cosmos number 148, Stormy. This piece is gorgeous. And when you're looking at these, you just have to really try and imagine them coming to life in story. These are, like I said, more than a profile picture collection, more than just, your typical PFP collection in the Web3 space, where so much of what we're surrounded by is like, how can we pump our own bags? How can we jump on, the sort of bandwagon of where the hype currently is and where the attention currently is? The beauty of this collection is that it is literally intended for storytelling. All of these characters were conceived of in the context of how can we really build out these graphic novels that are on the horizon, that Dirty Robot has explicitly shared, are already, in production, right? We've witnessed some of the pages from Saturn being illustrated, and more recently in the Discord, we got to watch a live session of a page from Higuma. And speaking of Higuma, here is Cosmos number 1. And it's a monster archetype. So we actually got to see, and I have, I think I tweeted it. It was probably today, maybe it was yesterday, I don't know. My days are like kind of just like meshing together and whatnot. But yeah, at one point I definitely posted a collage that had this character, but also had the panel that Dirty Robot had illustrated, where this character looks like it's like breaking into a house or something. You can't really, we don't really know what's going on, because that page is obviously taken out of the context of a story. But just knowing that these characters are going to come to life is super, super exciting. By the way, we are in the last 12 minutes currently, right? So the auction, if no one bids in the last 3 minutes, which hasn't happened yet, but If no one bids, it should end in, 12 minutes from now. But, within those last 3 minutes, if some additional bids come in and you knock someone off the leaderboard, that timer is going to extend out. And that's where all the fun happens. I was very, very fortunate. I feel very fortunate that I was able to get my Cosmos during, I think it was auction week 2. And I'll show you the piece that I got. I was super, super excited. And it was a Warlord, which, like, I'm a little bit biased to shapeshifters, but once I minted my Warlord, I was like, oh my gosh, of course I needed a Warlord. It just made sense. I don't know. I feel like it kind of embodies some of the characteristics that I would like to exhibit as a person. I always say to my students, like, question everything. Like, just, I don't know. It's okay to, not just passively accept everything that is thrown your way. This is the piece that I minted, Warlord. So I just love the intensity of it. It's like, this is so sick. And then someone was saying, wait a minute, that kind of looks like one of your characters wearing a mask, though, which I thought was cool. I wasn't sure if they were saying it was my monster mouth with a mask on, or if it was the shapeshifter that I'm currently wearing as my profile picture. But, yeah. All right, let's see that leaderboard. All right, one of those 0.85 bids got knocked off, by the way. So we are approaching the final 10 minutes. Or at least we think they're the final 10 minutes. And by the way, everyone that you see currently on this leaderboard, they are entitled to mint at the price that they have indicated as their bid. So if the timer runs out and my bid is at 1.09 ETH, then that is the price that I'm entitled to mint my Cosmos piece. And for those of you who do end up being successful and you win the auction this week, one of the things that we love and we're really trying to promote is getting people into the Discord server. And we have a public VC that you can join and you can share your screen and do the reveal live. Because we love to anticipate with you. We love to hear what you think you're going to mint and then see the outcome and kind of like share in the joy and the excitement of discovering the new character. So we have 9 minutes, and I'm so bad at multitasking, but I really, really wanted to go through. I specifically got a Pinterest account because if you ever wanted to look at Dirty Robot's 365 collection, these pieces are largely on Pinterest. And just, you can see, these characters are unreal. And some of them are familiar, even from the OG RENGA collection, like right over here. I don't really want to click into it, by the way, but you see, you see a cube back here, and I don't know if Drippy is listening, but Drippy's always listening, so I'm just going to say, hey, Drippy, what's good? I'm, like, certain that you're going to come to Spaces later. By the way, speaking of Drippy, Drippy is a lover of cubes, but I mean, I'm really not doing him justice right now because the cube that is shown is a black cube, but Drippy is partial to the gold cubes. So at some point, I might need to pull up a gold cube. But Drippy actually hit me up and he was like, yo, I think it might happen this week. So I'm really, really curious, like, Drippy, if you're up there on that leaderboard, you gotta let me know, because I wanna know which wall it is here so I can watch for it. I know how badly you've been wanting a Cosmos piece, and I just wanna, like, get excited with you. Here are some more pieces by Dirty Robot. Many of these from the 365 collection. You can see this one right here. It says day 142. And she's just like, do I know you? That's really cool. She's got a Glock. What? All right, cool. I like it. One of the things that people love about Dirty Robot's art is the way that he sort of like finishes a piece. So like in this one, 291, you see this character, and you see like the grain, the texture of it is something that is just sort of like very distinctively a Dirty Robot piece. Like, you could look at these pieces and not have any idea and just be like, oh yeah, that's a Dirty Robot piece. That's what I love. His style is just so, it's unlike anything you've ever seen before. Futuristic, but also nostalgic. It's like, kind of, it's the best of both worlds in that sense. But just look at the intensity of the characters, like look at the action, and like here you got an arm flying around, like day 296 from the 365 collection. So she's got like a sword, there's an arm flying, and I don't know if that's one of the characters that we see in Cosmos, but I sure hope it's not one of mine. Alright, let's check out that leaderboard. Where are we at? Oh, snap! Okay, guys, while I wasn't looking, people ran ahead and threw some bids at the leaderboard. Like, what just happened? We had like 2.85 ETH bids that got knocked off. We had a 0.86 bid that got knocked off. I don't know what else got knocked off because I wasn't paying attention to the in-between. But look at who knocked it off. I don't know who this top bid is, but 1.23. I don't know. It still feels undervalued to me. I think they're gonna go for higher, but that's just me personally. I really want to see if Drippy wrote to me because I want to know if he's up here. Drippy, send me like a smoke signal or something. I don't know. Oh, Drippy said I had to raise. Let's go. Drippy, tell me which one you are. Oh, he was trying to talk in the Discord. Drippy, if you talk in the Discord, I will not be able to hear you. I have like 2 devices open right now. One of them is streaming to the Discord, but the audio is like totally off. Okay, I see the end of his... Okay, I see you up there, Drippy. Let's go. All right, Drippy, make me a promise. If you, I don't know, if you end up winning, you're definitely gonna stream it, right? I mean, that's a given. It's Drippy. I'll just beg him since we're friends IRL. And then it's no biggie. Oh, man. All right, so we're in the final 4 minutes, perhaps. But, you know, that might change. Things are moving around. Oh, snap. Another... Did something else get knocked off? Did we have 2.88s? I think something got knocked off the leaderboard. Alright, this is where things start to get really active. And low-key, I feel like half of the people who are planning to bid wait until those last 3 minutes. So yeah, we'll see. I'm so curious to know how this ends. I just want to know what we're going to be minting this week. Like, what new archetypes are we going to see that maybe we haven't seen in a while? I don't know. Like, there were a couple of weeks where it kind of leaned in one direction. There was one week where, like, so many of them were warlords. I feel like it was the week that I minted. It might have been week 2. But yeah, I'm curious as to... I know Thor was mentioning the enchanters. Let's see, what else? Let's look through some of the archetypes. Let's look at the AI golems. I really have to say, some of my favorite pieces are AI golems. And this one, by the way, we got to witness live in the Discord server. Dirty Robot inking this piece and coloring this piece. So all of those different panels. My favorite panel being this one. You see the little koi fish? That almost looks like it's inside of a fish tank. That was so crazy to watch. Because, like, at first you think, oh, these are just screens, like, showing, like, a flat, 2-dimensional image. And then all of a sudden Dirty Robot does this, like, koi fish one. It's like, wait a minute, what am I actually looking at here? Yeah, AI Golem goes hard. And for anyone who doesn't know, there's a couple of other familiar things in here that are sort of like little gems. This guy right here, that's Echo. So for anyone who's kind of like newer to the Renga ecosystem, Echo is kind of like the mascot Echo is used a lot to like tell about activations and stuff. And so Echo in a way is like what, you know, Mario is to Nintendo, or like what, you know, Mickey Mouse is to Disney. This is another familiar piece right here. We actually saw this guy, you see bottom left corner, it won't let me zoom anymore. We saw this guy on one of the Saturn panels, so that's familiar as well. Some gems in there. All right, let's go back. Oh snap, we're in the last minute and a half. Are you guys gonna let this timer run out, or is it gonna get crazy? Well, we see the last 0.88 ETH bid got knocked off the leaderboard. So, I don't know. I see Drippy, but Drippy's just hanging on. Drippy, if you're out there. Oh snap, someone just got a bid in. Oh no, wait, I think that means Drippy's off. No, we lost Drippy. Oh my gosh. Operation Revive, resuscitate Drippy. You know, DNRs like do not resuscitate. How do we need DRD, do resuscitate Drippy? Drippy, get back up there. Oh man. Yeah, it's gonna start to get crazy. So as you guys can see, the timer went from, we were about in the last minute and a half, and another 3 minutes got added to it when that last bid just came in. So here we are. Oh, by the way, this is always fun. I spend more time than I would like to admit doing this, but Dirty Robot has created like literally a million Renga logos, and they all have like totally different typography. This one gives me, the one we're looking at right now, it reminds me of kind of like the motor core symbology. We see the lightning bolt a lot, so this one's giving me motor core vibes. That's sick. Yeah, these are all, I love this one. This one's giving me like the pixel deconstruction kind of vibe. I don't know why. But yeah, where are we at? All right, we're under 3 minutes. So now if another bid comes in, it's going to bump that timer up an additional 3 minutes. All right. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just going to keep switching back and forth. We'll keep checking in on the leaderboard. Hopefully I don't get distracted, but if I do, someone's got to like ping me and be like, Earth to space. That sounds a little crazy. Sorry, I can't get over this piece. Day 296. Dirty Robot was just like, all caps. This is like, no, this is no cap. With that flying limb. All right, let's see. Let's look at some more of these pieces. I'm obsessed with a lot of the stuff that came out in the 365 collection. Let's look at this one. This is also a 365. What are they throwing here? Oh, you know what? I have no idea what this is, but I will say people were talking in the Discord server about something I was referring to as like frisket ball or something. Okay, apparently there's this game where you throw, it's a sport. Okay, I probably shouldn't call it a game. Is it a game or a sport? I actually don't know. Where you throw a frisbee into a net? Am I getting that right? All right, if Sleepy is around and listening, or if Padawan is around and listening, can you guys correct me? What am I thinking of right now? What's that sport that you guys were talking about? I had never heard of it before. But for some reason, this 365 piece by Dirty Robot is giving me that vibe. I know that I'm totally off with that. All right, let's go back to the leaderboard. All right, last 4 minutes. in the Renga auction, like, I want to say space-time continuum, 4 minutes is like 40 minutes. It's kind of like, it's like Web3 time, I guess. Wow, so currently lowest bid is 0.92 ETH, highest bid is 1.23. These are the Cosmos pieces that have already minted, to give you a little bit of insight into what might be coming. And I like to always sort, I kind of like to sort by the recently created when we're doing these auctions, because I just like to remember what recently came out. Like this, I think Auntie minted this. Yeah, Auntie minted this piece. And this piece you can see is a warlord. And I just love, she's got like the third eye, which we see a lot. We see it in Thor's character 3 as well, which we just found out last week. Thor's character 3 from the OG RENGA collection, which by the way we can pull that up right now, is going to be featured in upcoming stories. And it's the first time we've really found out concretely about someone who's actually a community member who's going to have their character brought to life. So let's take a look at 3. This is 3 from the OG collection. And as you can see, this is an animated piece. And in its final stage, it's got its third eye open, and it's really sick. So we're excited for Thor. And by the way, the communications that came out actually showed 3, this character, which by the way is a 1 of 1 from the OG RENGA collection. It depicted the comics on what looked like a tag on something, and people jumped in the server and they were freaking out. They're like, merch, da-da-da, whatever. And you know, the correction is always, oh, well, it's not merch, it's gonna be apparel. And that's a correction that is directly from Dirty Robot himself. It's kind of like a gentle, like, hey, this isn't going to be like fast fashion. This is going to be like the real deal, cut and sew, whatever, like high quality. And last week, Drippy actually came up on our Twitter space, as he always does, because Drippy is kind of like my right-hand man, especially when it comes to spaces or IRL events. Drippy came up and was like, yo, I went to the community meetup and I got to see some of this like RENGA apparel that we've been hearing about. And he's like, that stuff is next level. He's like, the quality of the fabric. Drippy's words were something like, it's like Balenciaga quality. Oh, by the way, we're in the last minute. Holy crap. Is this it? Is this the end? Is it so over? We're in the last 45 seconds. You guys aren't going to let these 45 seconds slip away, right? I think Drippy is still up here, though. I think he got another bid in. Oh, timer just extended. Never mind. Yep, see? This is what happens. Welcome to the RENGA Cosmos Auction. You think the timer is about to run out, but then some edgelord from the community swoops in with their bid. This time I don't even know which bid came in, but I don't know. Drippy is back to hanging on by a thread, and I feel like he's reliving my experience from week 2. Holy crap. Drippy, are you okay? I don't know if you can hear me out there, but I know right now you might be scrambling to get some ETH in that wallet, because that's what I was doing a couple weeks ago when I was in your position. So anyone who was there for auction week 2, I made a video like just sort of making fun of myself, because basically, like, I don't know what the thought process was, but I was like, oh, I'm just gonna buy enough ETH to place a bid. And so I placed my bid, and I was like, you know what, I'm like all set to go. I put in a bid that I felt was high enough that I might make it to the end. And of course that week things went crazy. My bid was like 1.13 ETH, and I must have gotten knocked off the leaderboard like 5 times or something. And each time I didn't get smarter, right? I wasn't like, oh, let me add like a good cushion of ETH so that if my next bid gets knocked off, I'm like ready to go. No, I didn't do that. I only loaded just as much more as I thought I was gonna add, and then got knocked off again. And I'm scrambling. I'm like, holy crap, timer's running out. We were already in overtime. And I'm like, I gotta get some ETH in this wallet. So I'm like, what's the quickest way? I'm using PayPal. Never used PayPal before. Never will probably use it again. So I'm thinking like, this is the quickest way. I'm trying to do it directly from my wallet. I'm struggling. I eventually get it in, and like, I have to do this over and over and over again. And finally PayPal's like, there's an error. An error has occurred. And like, this error message is coming up, and I'm like, wait a minute, is there a limit? Like a daily limit? I don't even know how this works. So Drippy, you might be in my purgatory right now, because you know what? The timer just extended and I don't see you up here. Don't make the mistake I did, Drippy. I was only loading how much ETH I thought I was gonna need. It put me in a bad position. And it was I running a stream? I can't remember if I was running a stream. Oh no, I was doing spaces. I don't know, I was doing something where I was like having to multitask, which you guys know is like absolutely my downfall. It is my like character flaw to the max. I cannot multitask. Like right now, I'm staring at a cup of coffee. It is a cup of coffee I made preemptively. Like, oh, I'm gonna be sitting in this stream and like, it's gonna be super exciting, but I'm gonna wanna drink coffee. I have not had a single sip of that coffee. It's just sitting there. It's like looking at me. I think, did a bid just come in? I'm not sure. We're at 3.5 minutes though, either way. And let's see, do I see Drippy? Do I see Drippy? Oh, I see Drippy. I think that's him. Unless that's someone else whose wallet ends with those numbers and letters. Drippy, if that's you, that's iconic. He looks like he might make it. Instead of like NGMI or GMI, like not gonna make it, gonna make it, it's DGMI. Drippy gonna make it. Drippy gonna make it. All right, now we're in the under 3 minute. This is the part where things get crazy again. Someone's gonna throw a bid in just to disrupt everyone's peace of mind, right? Because everyone who's on the leaderboard right now is like, okay, please let the timer run out. This is gonna be my bid. Like, I'm gonna win, and this is gonna be the price I'm entitled to mint my Cosmos at. So right now, anyone who's on the leaderboard is like, please let the timer run out. Please let the timer run out. But someone else is behind the scenes like, let me let them have their peace of mind, and then in the last 30 seconds or the last 10 seconds, I'm gonna like seed a little bit of chaos and throw a bid up there. So that's what's been happening. It's fun. All right, let's see what else minted last week. This was a really cool one too, and I could be mistaken. I thought this was minted maybe by Uncle. And oh gosh, I just saw something. No! Okay, guys. So if you're in the Renga community, can someone let me know? Is this who I think? J1111, is that our J1? This right here? Oh gosh. Whatever you do, never ever dump to a J1 bid. Not financial advice, but I do want to say, shout outs to J1. It's a love-hate relationship. There was a really awesome meme. I kept it. Actually, I kept it. Yeah, let's look at it. There was a really awesome meme. I'm gonna pull it up. So first of all, we were talking about crystal children earlier, and someone made a meme out of this character from the Cosmos collection, crystal children archetype, and we've been using it a lot in the Discord server to just sort of like, you know, say no, but also to troll a little bit. But more recently, I think Stealthy One came back and recreated the same character, but instead it says yes, but not for J1. Because really where you're seeing this used a lot is in the marketplace channel of our Discord server. And J1 just comes in there, you know, always trying to, you know, get people to floor their grails. So... All right, 3.5 minutes left, and oh man. Lowest bid is 0.94 ETH, highest bid is 1.23. We shall see. Oh man, what do you guys think? How far are we gonna run over? I think the highest amount of time has been close to an hour. And then the lowest amount of time has been at least a half hour. I mean, these things always run over time. We're currently 11 minutes over time. And I don't know. I expect more to come. Let's see if we can see what's going on. Now, what I do know is probably happening is there are probably people who really want me to use the soundboard, but I have forbade. Is forbade a word? I have forbade myself from using a soundboard. No, I will do it at some point. I actually got a soundboard. Actually, you know what? You guys can let me know if you can hear this. I got a soundboard queued up because I was like, I don't know, maybe when I'm in a little stream, I might have interest in using a soundboard. But I haven't used it yet. But mostly because I'm so, I'm very self-conscious over my soundboard usage. Oh, by the way, someone got knocked off. Oh no! Oh no! Look at that timer. 5 minutes and 4 seconds. All right, another bid came in. Time has been extended once again, and we love to see it. This is like what we live for. By the way, those of you who are not yet in the Renga ecosystem, this is our Friday. So like I've been waiting for Wednesday all week, and after Wednesday passes, like once this auction is done and we see all the mints, I'm just gonna be like looking forward to next week on Wednesday. It's like, I don't know, the anticipation just really builds up, and a bunch of us were saying we're really not looking forward to the auctions being over because we're just having such a good time seeing the characters be like realized on chain. So super cool. And if you aren't yet part of the Renga ecosystem, one of the things that you might not know is there is also the OG Renga collection. So you can go on any secondary market, Magic Eden, OpenSea, Blur, whatever you tend to prefer. But the Renga collection is unlike Cosmos, which are all hand-drawn. It's a generative collection. There's 10,000 characters. But by the way, that number is lower than 10,000. Part of the reason is that these characters were minted by burning black boxes. And some of the black boxes have not yet been burned, but this collection size will never ever reach 10,000 pieces now because in the process of the Cosmos mint, there was a second stage, and the second stage was actually deflationary. So some of the people who minted a Cosmos, the way they went about doing that was they had to burn 5 Renga in order to mint a Cosmos. And one of the things that, I remember Rajulso is like one of our super active community members. He was saying, we knew there was a crafting element. And Rajulso was like, he was like, I think if I combine this archetype and this archetype, it's going to give me an AI golem. And I'm looking at the AI golems because like this is one of the absolute grails. By the way, this one is owned by Ghosty. Shoutouts to Ghosty. I love this one so much. It's so clean. But yeah, I remember Rajulso came in and he was participating in the burning 5 Renga in order to mint a Cosmos during that deflationary phase. And he sent in his combination of Renga to be burned. And he did end up getting an AI golem, which, we never found out, like, what was the sort of, like, combination of archetypes that might produce such a thing, because actually there was also an element of RNG. Let's take a look at that leaderboard. We are in the last 5 minutes. Oh, did the timer go up again? The timer went up. The lowest bid is currently 0.96 ETH, and the highest bid is still 1.23. Let's see, do we still have Drippy up here? I'm getting a little nervous. No, we still have Drippy, but I don't know. Drippy, he's hanging on for dear life again. It's happening all over again. It's like Groundhog Day, but it just like never ends, and it's like much more frequent. It's like literally every 3 minutes or 5 minutes. The nice thing about Drippy getting on this leaderboard is I can literally force him to do his reveal immediately after, whenever the auction shuts down. But yeah, make sure if, you might have other plans. There's no, like, you don't have to do it immediately after, but like, set up a time with us. Be like, hey, Space, I want to reveal my Cosmos piece together with the Discord server. I'm going to do it in an hour from now or something. You know, like just give me a general vicinity, because then I'll be able to pin it to the top of all the channels in Discord and we'll get people in there. It's super easy, by the way. A couple of people who weren't streaming their reveal, they felt like they didn't really know how to do it, but I can walk you through it. It's super, super easy to just share your screen while you're doing your mint. So we're under 3 minutes again. So now if another bid comes in, it's just gonna kick that timer back up another 3 minutes from wherever we are. So that's where we're at. Man, it's hard to believe we are like towards the end of this Cosmos mint. 40, I think it's 42 pieces left, and 14 of those are gonna happen today. So get those bids in. We're approaching the last 2 minutes. And you probably want a Dirty Robot 1 of 1. I mean, here are some of the things you could get. This was a really, really sick mint. This happened. But was it Van Buren who actually minted? I mean, we all know Van Buren's RNG is like second to none. A star seed, like, let's see the history. Yep, it was minted by Van Buren. Killer. Let's just see how many star seeds there are, because just these two. That's a cool one also. Let's see, what else haven't we seen all that much of? Gotta go back to the sun archetype, because this is probably like, this is such a grail. I don't know, CPT DeFi got this crazy grail, and I believe this must have been during the first stage, the gift stage. That was lucky too. I don't know, CPT DeFi might have that special RNG luck. And I think this was showed. And I feel like this other one was Theateral, but not sure if you saw. Oh, Thor got it now. Grails all around. And again, those orbs, they mean something. And sometimes you just want to drop by spaces because Dirty Robot has come in and alluded to what some of those things mean. So it's always better to hear it directly from the person who sort of like conceived of it, you know. All right, I'll be back in just a second. I gotta get a charger for my laptop. I'm like laughing to myself right now because I'm super self-conscious now about my audio, because I think it was like either last week or the week before, John HQ came up on Spaces and he's like, why do you sound like you're inside of a fishbowl? And I was like, I have like no furniture in my apartment because I'm like one person and I live pretty simple. So now I'm like so self-conscious that the audio might sound crazy. So at any given moment, if I sound echoey or whatever, just forgive me. There's like just empty space around me. The name checks out. All right, we're in the last 2 minutes. And when I say we're in the last 2 minutes, what I really mean is we're in the last 2 minutes for now. This is not gonna last. Oh, a bid just came in. See, I'm speaking it into existence. Should we test that theory? All right, I'm not gonna do it yet though. Obviously I can't do it yet. I gotta wait until the timer gets to 3 minutes. Then we'll try again. We'll try our luck. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see how long we drawn this out. Drippy's gonna be so pissed off if he realizes that now we're willing into existence, bids rolling in and the timer being prolonged. I am currently now actually drinking the coffee that I made like an hour ago before I started the stream. That has been staring at me and I'm like, oh, like, it's not warm anymore? What? They also keep my apartment like 57 degrees or something. I come home and it's like 57 degrees. I'm like, alright, I guess I need to throw on 6 more layers. So right now I have like literally 6 layers on. It did snow here last night and it was pretty beautiful. I kind of like stood on my balcony and was like, this is nice. I can appreciate the snow for like 3-minute intervals and then that's basically it. Minutes. Lowest bid right now is 0.98 ETH and the highest bid is 1.23 ETH. And we're just chilling out, vibing. Cosmos. The RENGA collection. You gotta hear it, I said this last week, but you gotta hear it in Dirty Robot's voice. Hearing him say the name of the collection, it's got like this sort of like mysterious kind of vibe. Alright, let's see, how do we want to sort this? Let's see what's the most viewed. The most viewed. This was one that also came up in the 365 collection, and was one of the really early mints. And I think I have the piece, I just have to find it. Let's see, it is somewhere in here. These are just some collages I've thrown together. Oh, here's another. This was a piece on the left-hand side. You're looking at a Cosmos character that we got to witness Dirty Robot illustrating in the Discord server. And on the right-hand side of it is actually like that same character was already conceived of way back when Dirty Robot did the 365 collection. So again, really cool to see like the full body sort of depiction and also to see how it's kind of evolved as time has gone on. But yeah, let's see if I could find... I really want to find that piece we were just looking at. This one. So as you can see on the right, that was that character we were just looking at. And on the left-hand side, you could see a slightly more full body, but not completely, depiction of her from the 365 collection. Alright, where are we at? Oh, snap! See, you guys always wait until I'm not looking at the leaderboards, and then people like sneak their bids in. I'm on to you. You didn't even give me a chance to make it look like I was speaking things into existence. So now the lowest bid is 1.01 ETH and... Oh no! Okay. 1.02 ETH and the highest bid is 1.23. Wild. We are in the last 4 minutes. I feel like I've said we're in the last 4 minutes or we're in the last 3 minutes like so many times. Yeah, there seems to be a little bit of a time delay, so. And I can't tell if it's a time delay through to the Discord. I think the Discord is also slightly delayed from my X stream for some reason. But yeah. Let's look back at this this Hypebeast article, because I was just looking like that character, number 46. What is she anyway? She's an enchanter. Again, like the style. There's just so much style. And you can tell Dirty Robot himself is kind of like a hype beast and really, really loves to dabble in the fashion world also. And so this Hypebeast article was sick because, you know, I don't know how frequently they've actually looked at the fashion illustrated into characters. I just hadn't seen much of it. I mean, Hypebeast, like, if you know Hypebeast, they're kind of like pretty lifestyle oriented, so like they might do even like collectibles in terms of like physical products that are collectibles, but you know, of course, sneakers. They were always talking about sneakers, like the new SB Dunks. shout outs to Flight Club, where I was spending all of my money before I was spending all my money on Web3. Yeah, it's a cool interview, so definitely check it out. Again, this was published in 2017, but it really goes through like here's like a deconstructed backpack, and these are all illustrations by Dirty Robot. That was day 209. Here's that shoe. All right, let's check out the leaderboard. We are in the last 4 minutes and 40 seconds. Timer go up. Love to see it. Oh man, I think we might have surpassed last week's overtime, by the way, and I think the next couple of weeks are only going to pick up. I mean, as people realize how few of these one-of-ones are remaining, there's no doubt demand, right? It's just like basic supply and demand principles, but it's not, I mean, it's like kind of heavier in the sense that like these pieces are literally characters that are going to be in stories. So supply and demand means one thing when like all the tokens are the same or something, but like I think it means something totally different when like there's only X number of shapeshifters, or like this, like my grail over here. And I know if Doug is listening, Dougie, I know that you always judge me for feeling like this is a grail, but this is a grail. I'm sorry. We can agree to disagree on that. But every time, I look at this character, I'm like, supply and demand, like there is only one character that will ever look like this. Ever. Like in the history of existence. And this character gives me main character vibes. So, think of these characters, envision them in stories, and like, I don't know, ask yourself, like, is this the next like Superman, Spider-Man, Batman? I don't know. People were saying Venom. I don't know Venom. I'm not very cultured. Anyone who knows me knows that like my awareness, like I want to say media literacy, but then that makes it seem like I don't really like read much. That's not really true. And I do read critically, but yeah, I'm just like not cultured in terms of like mainstream media or like Hollywood or like some of the bigger productions that you would have expected me to have seen. 2 minutes left. I almost said 2 hours left, but I mean, literally we could be here for 2 more hours. I wasn't trying to speak that into existence, but I mean, if it ends up happening, it ends up happening, so. 2 minutes, 2 hours. We got all night. We got all week. Just keep running it. Imagine if we had to run like a 24-hour stream because the bids just literally never stopped rolling in. Oh my gosh, what if that happens the last time around? I guess it could. Yeah, the final week of auction, who knows? Oh my gosh, it just occurred to me that final week of auctions is like, because the thing is, people are like, oh, like whatever, you can get these on secondary for a little bit less, but like you get to mint something that has literally never been seen before. And I mean, if you look at the whole collection, the chance of you getting a banger is basically like literally a guarantee. Look at these glitch starfighters. There's 2 of them right here. This one's really cool and feels very nostalgic to me. I love the colors of this one. This is also a sick glitch starfighter. This might be Uncle. Mobius has a grail glitch starfighter. I think it's one of my favorites, easily. And by the way, this was a piece that we saw in the original teaser video, but we didn't see it in full color, right? We saw it in like the red and the cream, and Dingling is currently the collector that's holding on to this grail. And you can tell, I don't know how to call it, but I feel like with my family we would call it like he's got like a doily around his neck. I don't know what to call it. It's just a fancy collar, like a ruffled collar, but it's definitely giving royalty vibes, which is one of the archetypes. Oh shoot, we're in the last couple of seconds. Is it over? I can't tell. Are we delayed? Is it over? How will I know? I'm gonna just refresh. I mean, it looks like it might be. Is it over? Maybe I'll check in the Discord server. I mean, sometimes there's a delay and then all of a sudden the timer's running again and I realized my Wi-Fi was trash. Oh snap! Oh, Drippy said, I got it, Spacey! Oh my gosh, no way. Alright, it looks like this is it. So the lowest bid we have is 1.04 ETH. The highest bid we have is 1.23 ETH. And I am expecting people to get in the VC right now and stream their mints. I'm going to switch right here to the Cosmos collection and let's check out the recently created recently created, so we can see the first mint that comes in, and someone minted. You guys better be streaming. Everyone wants to watch. I mean, some of us are gonna watch it this way, but oh man, come on. All right, number 272. I hope it comes through. I'm dying to see this. Recently created. Oh man. The anticipation is crazy. No, is it loading right now? You can do it. Yo! Wait! Oh my gosh. This piece goes crazy! Holy crap. I mean, it's like the skin is peeling off. What is underneath it? This is wild. Oh, Drippy said he's got a screen shared. Everyone jump into Drippy's. Jump into Drippy's stream, everyone. I'm jumping in. Oh man. Alright, we're watching you, Drippy. We're watching you, Drippy! Shapeshifter, by the way. That first piece was a shapeshifter. It might be my absolute grail. I don't know. Shapeshifters, I'm obsessed. Alright. Keep an eye. I'm so glad that Drippy was able to get a piece. Drippy, we're ready for you. I don't know if you can hear. I see you got the animation going. Hopefully everyone's watching. Hopefully everyone is no longer watching my stream but has jumped into the Drippy stream in the Discord server. So if you are not there yet, hop on in. Drippy was knocked off the leaderboard almost as many times as I was. Maybe the same, honestly. We're literally the same person. If you ever met Drippy, I mean, I'm way selling him short by saying we're almost the same person. Because Drippy has like the purest soul ever in the history of existence. Oh, Drippy, I'm in here. I'm in here. Drippy, I'm in here. I'm watching you. I'm still streaming on X, so I wasn't speaking, but I'm so excited. You got a good audience, too. Oh, he clicked mint. Let's go. All right, what's Drippy gonna pull, guys? I'm so hyped. Oh my gosh. Drippy literally has Dirty Robot watching his mint happening. Can we talk about how sick that is? It does not get better than this for me. I can't lie. This is like easily the highlight of my week. Uh-oh, it's coming! What did Drippy get? Yo! That's sick. Oh my gosh. Wait, it's not showing up yet on OpenSea, but I wanna, hopefully I'll just keep refreshing and it'll come through. Lit, that's lit. I love it so much. Holy crap. It's good. I can see Drippy wearing that, no doubt. It's so good. I mean, why isn't it showing up here? Oh man, I can't tell if it's my internet. I can't tell. Oh, Pecky says, I think I've seen her before. Pecky, I don't know if you're listening to this too, but have we seen her maybe in 365? Yeah, Pecky is saying 365. Interesting. Stealthy One. I feel like Stealthy One just wrote something to see if I was gonna repeat it. Oh, Dirty Robot said, I think she's one from the Black Cat's Cafe. Sick. We love a little bit of lore. Yo, Drippy, thank you so much for streaming that. I'm trying to, if I can pull it up here so I can show everyone else. We're over here screaming and hold on. Let's see. I mean, I think I know that. That's gotta be an engineer, but I could be wrong. Alright, we'll see when it comes through. It's just taking its time. Alright, who else was a winner? Get in the VC, share your screen, and let's see what you got. You know, it's funny because when these auctions were initially happening, the mints were like instantaneous. Now it's like, people are like, oh yeah, like I won. I'll like do it when I can carve out like a very special time to do it, you know? Like Rajulsa was so funny. He like won his auction on, what was it, either a Tuesday or a Wednesday, because we shifted the schedule, and he waited all the way till Saturday. That was like a whole different level of willpower, you know. Oh man, I want Drippies to come up so I can share it on here. It's okay. I'm living two lives. I'm living a double life right now because I'm currently in the Discord server and waiting for someone else to come in and stream their reveal. All right. Well, this was a really, really awesome time together. And I just want to emphasize the importance of minting your Cosmos characters in front of an audience. We love to see it. We love to experience it with you, the excitement, the joy of it all. So please, if you don't mind, jump into the VC and actually stream your reveal. We haven't seen drippies come through yet on the secondary for some reason, but we did see this crazy shapeshifter come through. I'm obsessed with this one. This one's going in my collage. You guys know how I roll. All my collages are going to feature at least, like, you know, 3 or 4, or maybe 5 shapeshifters for the culture. Oh, but if you go in the Discord, Dirty Robot actually shared, he's like, oh yeah, here she is. Drippy's character. That's sick. It's really special that we get to sort of all experience this together, including with the artist. Oh, snap. That's one of the other characters. That's crazy. I don't think I've seen these pieces before. If you're not yet in the Renga Discord server, it is a really special corner of the universe, and you should get in there. Just, you know, discord.gg/Renga, and just join if you're not in there yet. Recently created. Let's see if Drippy still didn't come through. OMG. Alright, well, I'm probably going to rug the stream, but we are going to be right back live during Spaces in just a little over a half hour. So come through, share your mints or your leaderboard shuffle experience if you got knocked off multiple times. I can empathize with you. Been there, done that. But this was the final leaderboard, and it went into overtime again by a half hour, which is pretty wild. 1.04 minimum bid, 1.23 max. It was a solid week, but I'm just dying to see these characters get revealed. And OpenSea, I feel like it's like restricting us right now. I guess I could go to the contract address. Oh, some stuff came through, it looks like. And here is Drippy's piece. So for those of you who were hoping to see it, because you heard me reacting to my Discord, here she is. And just as I had expected, she's an engineer. She is so sick. You know what? It's funny because Drippy loves a cube, and this like headpiece she's got on is giving me cube vibes, which I love. That's sick. And then it looks like another mint came through as well. Oh, sick. Yeah, this is also an engineer. Is this going to be the week of the engineers? I mean, we had a week where it was like a lot of warlords. Look at this with the little sort of light projection or something kind of holographic. We got to ask Dirty Robot about those. That's a sick piece. All right. Good week. We're going to do this again next week. So if you do not yet have exposure to Renga, you have 2 paths if you want to participate in the storytelling. You have Cosmos, a Renga collection, which is this very small collection. There will only be 313 pieces. 275 are currently minted. And these will be auctioned off. Next week, we'll run another auction. The minimum bid will be 0.8 ETH. But the other possible path into the storytelling ecosystem is through the OG Renga collection, which is right here. So get exposure in whatever way you feel most inclined, and join the server and hit me up. Show off your piece, and I'll let you know all the details of anything you need to know or should know to get you all caught up. So, public auction. We hope to see you next week. Thank you guys so much for coming through and being a part of this. We really appreciate it. Peace out, y'all.